1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Alrighty. Checking to see if it's working. Oh, brother. 5 4 3 2 1. Blast off. God damn! Never a dull moment on this podcast, I swear to God. Welcome to the 76th episode of the Hagwon Startup Podcast. Let me shut myself up somewhere. I'm frustrated because there's just too many things going on. I'm experiencing some difficulties in setting the program podcast up. Okay, but let me do the intro. Okay, let me run the intro by you. Welcome to the 76th episode of the Hagwon Startup of the Korea podcast. God damn! Of the Korea podcast. I'm your host, Jack, located in South Korea, in the tiny little corner of Ulsan. And the Korea podcast is about anything and everything to do with South Korea, about living, working, as well as starting and operating a Hagwon business or an English language school. In today's podcast, what is that? That's not it. Where is it? My computer has restarted, okay? It's restarted, it's updated, and it created a mess out of everything. Everything is a mess, literally. And this is supposed to be the intro. That's what we're rocking to. And what? Okay, so there were several topics on the table that I wanted to talk about. As the title says, Korea flooding. That's the main one. Let me go into the chat window to see if there's anybody who has been, helping me out with making me feel like crap even more than I already am. My favorite commenter is not here, unfortunately. I was having a hard time setting it up. My computer was updating very slowly, and I wasn't able to post the link anywhere else on the website, not even to my own bloody Facebook page, the group Facebook page. And so we're completely in the dark. So I'm gonna try to do that right now as best I can. Which is probably not gonna happen very well. But just to let you know, I'm gonna shut this music off because there's too many things happening. Thank you, music. Korea, it's been raining in Korea for like 6 weeks. No, 3 weeks, I think, 3 or 4 weeks, non-stop, and it doesn't stop. It's been like that for 3 weeks, or maybe even a month. Literally every day. Last week we came back from vacation. We had a week off, closed the Hagwon, went on a little break. We spent 3 days. We spent 3 days, 3 wonderful days, camping out somewhere in the Korean wilderness. And let me see if I can. Okay. 3 days in the Korean wilderness, and we were lucky enough to have the 3 days without rain. Other than that, every single day it was raining. And we got there last week on Friday. We unpacked. We had 3 days of blissful. Why am I talking? Okay. And at the end of the 3 days, join me now for a fast live. My goodness. Just posting it on Facebook. At the end of the 3 days, literally on the very last day, everything was packed, everything was ready to go, and we were packing things into the car, and it started raining, and it feels like it hasn't stopped raining since, and it's been like that for 3 weeks. It's crazy. There were floods basically also, and for some strange reason, Ulsan gets spared. The city of Ulsan has really been lucky in terms of flooding. Every single time there are some severe storms and serious devastation going on. For the most part, Ulsan is spared. The last one that I experienced, the last big time flooding that I experienced in Ulsan was in 2016, I believe, or 2015, about a year or so before we opened up our Hagwon. And I used to commute. Let me just quickly share this to all the possible places that I can share. I was coming back. I used to commute to Gyeongju University, which is out in Gyeongju. It's about an hour drive from my hometown, from Ulsan, and I was coming back home, and portions of the road that I usually took were literally washed away. There was a road running through the countryside, over a mountain, over some hills, and the road was gone. I had to backtrack for an hour to get back to the proper highway, and that was the last time that I saw some major flooding. The entire region of Bonghae was flooded. There were the fields were covered. I was driving through. Hey, Victoria Morgan is hey Jack, hope you're staying safe. That flooding sounds scary. Yeah, it does. I'm just saying, Victoria, I'm just explaining that Ulsan gets spared for the most part. Usually, as it usually goes with floods, the most affected regions are the rural areas, the farm fields, the farmlands. I'm just in the process of posting the link because I came on very, very late, as you can imagine, and so I haven't done anything. Even right now, I think I'm running the podcast on a backup server rather than the main server. For some reason, my computer was updated or updated itself. It spent like 2 hours. I made the mistake of clicking the update button, and of course, that lasted for 2 bloody hours. And so able to get on time, and everything is kooky wookie. The whole computer is reset itself, and it's just a pain in the neck. So I'm just trying to get it all back on track right now. And I got 3 viewers. Hey, what's up? If you're new here, if you're not new, remember to hit the likes. I'm gonna hop over to some pictures in a minute. Once I finish spamming all the places that I can spam with the link. I'm kidding. I don't eat spam. Only pure ham. Right, okay. I'm just trying to, let's have a browser view. Yes, yes, yes. Clickety click. Let's see if we can set it up nice and neat. Nice and neato. Nice and neato incognito. Bugger. Bugger it all. I think I downloaded some images, but I don't know where they are right now on my computer. Like I said, everything is just reset itself. If you haven't seen, in Uslan the process, things have not been too bad. I've seen videos on Facebook, I wish I could dig them up, where streets were literally shown being flooded over with stuff. If you go onto Google and just type in Korean floods, you'll see the images. They're pretty freaking scary. And you don't see any of that in Ulsan. Like I said, Ulsan is very calm comparatively. It's always the case. Even now, there was talk of what you may call it, of typhoon. Apparently supposed to have happened here in Korea, and I don't know if there is a typhoon, because in Ulsan there is not much that's happening. Ulsan's been pretty spared. Let's see here, transition. See, there you go. This is a picture from 1 day ago, and that's basically what things look like. If you can see it, let me adjust this. See if I can adjust this here a little bit better. Okay. Desktop. Oh man, so much work to do. I can kind of, there you go. Okay, this is from a day ago. That's this this pup here, right here. When is this here? 2 days ago. I have no idea what this is. Floods, Lakeside Hill. These are like, images that are presently happening. That's what's happening in South Korea right now. It's pretty nutty what's happening. Pretty nutty. I don't see any of that in Ulsan ever, literally never ever, which is good, I guess, but I mean, it's just strange. It's almost strange to hear that these things are happening in Korea, because like I never see them. Okay, better adjustment for viewership. There we go. So this was the previous picture. That's picture number 1. Here we go. Here's a fella standing. This is from 1 day ago, apparently. I don't know what that is. Dead in landslides. Seoul City, I saw pictures, people posting pictures of Seoul City. This is one of them, I believe. Like, things are insanely flooded. Here's some pictures from Seoul City. It's pretty crazy to see what's happening. In Ulsan, nothing of that sort. It's pretty quiet. I haven't been out to the Taewar River, the main river running through the city of Ulsan, which is what's the biggest river and does flood every single year. But I did see some pictures posted by Jason Teal, the he spends his time taking pictures of the local areas, and there were no pictures of anything specific. I know Gyeongju gets flooded every year. Here's some other floody pictures of Korea. Crazy things happening. The typhoon that was supposed to come didn't come. It was supposed to arrive here last night, and that didn't happen. It was quiet, and it rained a little bit throughout the day, but for the most part, it's very, very calm. So while other parts of Korea, like Seoul, are getting hit hardcore, 2 days ago, pictures from 2 days ago, here in Ulsan, very quiet. Which is strange because we're located right next to the ocean, and you would think that that would cause even more. The damage may be even more visible here in South Korea, in Ulsan. That there'd be a lot more flooding, but that's not the case. Not at least not where I live. Possibly in Bangwon, but I haven't been down that way yet. Here's some more images from South Korea, from the capital city, I assume. Freaky deaky. So, yeah, people are getting hit hard. Floods in the north, an opportunity for peacemaking between what? I don't know. Look at this picture. That is insane. Like, it's an entire highway just gone. An entire highway gone. No idea where this is. This could as well be in Ulsan, actually. It's not, but it could be. Roads disappearing. I've seen posts. So the last big flooding, I guess, that I saw occurred in, like I said, in 2016, I think, or 15 or 14. And that was quite large, quite big. And apparently this is the biggest one right now that occurred in the past 7 years, some people say. And I could safely say that that may just be the case. This dude's taking a picture of himself. Is he shooting a selfie? I have no idea. Cows stranded on roofs of houses. I guess there was so much water the cows floated out of their barns and ended up on... This is from 4 hours ago. This picture apparently was taken 4 hours ago. That's what it says. Well, okay, I don't know when it was taken, but it was posted 4 hours ago. That was... I don't know. I could flip through all the pictures. There's a lot of them. If you're interested in seeing what's happening, go to... just Google it. Hey, by the way, did you know that Google is an actual term now, eh? Google it. Google it. What does it mean to Google it? My students even know what it means. What does it mean to Google it? It means to find out stuff on the internet. So Korea is getting hit hard by floods. Ulsan is safe as always. I have no idea where the tornado went. If it's still, not the tornado, the typhoon, where it went, if it's still here around, or what is happening to the typhoon. But it certainly is not here in Ulsan. Nope, don't see anything of that here. The other thing, I guess I'm going to leave it at that. If you have any questions, if you're new here, make sure to hit the like button. Despite the fact that this video is very late, that I came on very late, maybe that's the reason why there are a few more people on. I was going to post it to a few more places, but I guess I'm going to do that tomorrow and all the adjustments. I have no time at all. And computers crashing on me just pisses me off because everything's late and I can't get stuff organized. I'm very organized. Everything is like, I've become the, I don't know, epidemic of an anally retentive bastard who like lives his life according to the clock almost. Right now I'm running so behind, it's painful. I've got so much stuff to do. I think I'll be leaving work at 2 o'clock in the morning. Good thing. Oh, it's my daughter's birthday today. Happy birthday, honey. She's out partying, or at least she was. I hope she's asleep by now. But she was out partying with her friends and her aunts. The other thing that I wanted to mention, I don't know if anybody heard that, but Trump, Donald Trump, that fella, that person, that president, Donald Trump on COVID in Korea. I don't know if anybody heard. I'm sure some people heard because some people have posted it on Facebook. That's where I saw it. Trump suggests South Korea coronavirus statistics can't be real. Are you serious? I made a quick little video chitty-chatting about that on somewhere. I don't know. I think I posted it on on Facebook and stuff. I'm pretty sure. And let me just add another, what is it, display capture. Yes, okay. Ding. Nope, cancel. What am I trying to add here? Capture device, yes, okay. Ding. Cancel, okay, I don't know. Alright, maybe I need to adjust something else. Too much adjusting. So Trump was suggesting that the results of the coronavirus in Korea have been faked, I guess, which is a bizarre thing to say, the least. Wouldn't you say, Mr. Presidente? El Presidente? El Presidente is el dente. What is he talking about, eh? Korea has been pretty good with putting people in cages and, having the whole self-distancing and self-mutilating, space-invading policies in place. And people have been very good with following everything because Koreans are very good at that. So I don't know what this fella is suggesting, El Presidente, but it's bizarre to say the least, yeah? To say that Korea has been faking it when Korea is probably one of the most honest countries. Okay, maybe somebody will disagree. I don't know. Where is it? I can't set it up. Okay, coronavirus statistics. Doink. Transition. All right, can you see that? Coronavirus statistics can't be trusted, apparently, he says. Why can't they be trusted? I have no idea. But that's what President Trump seems to be saying. And that sucks because, what gives? He's kind of suggesting, what? Losing the race, so to speak, and he's pointing fingers at other people saying, hey, shoot, I'm just trying to adjust the screen and it's a pain in the neck. See what happens when computers reset and you're not prepared? Okay, transition. Ding. Transition. Is it transitioned? Has it transitioned? Okay, good, maybe. So yeah, that's another thing. Oh, Sheila, good evening. Hey, Sheila. Victoria Morgan says, I believe South Korea isn't lying. New Zealand completely eradicated it. South Korea has a lot of great things about the country that makes it so they can beat the virus. Yeah, like I said, Koreans are very good at, being sheepish to the point of sheepishness and just following orders. And rightly so. I don't know. I'm going out on a limb and saying that possibly the reason for that is that why people in Korea follow so well. Partially it's due to the culture, obviously, but also I think other aspects of being, and one of them is the fact that well, Korea has had its share of dictators, not to mention just the Confucianist lifestyle that Korea has, right, or has had in the past history, which basically leads people to, you know, to be a certain way. And one of the ways is to follow, order to follow directions pretty well. Okay, how is this? Very tiny. Oh man, okay, can't be trusted, he says. So, transition. So people are very good, like when everybody's told in Korea to wear masks and keep distance, keep their distance and stay away from one another, people are very good at doing that. And so we've been doing that to this day. Every single person is wearing a mask, almost every single person, but the majority of people are wearing masks. So it's kind of bizarre to me to see things on YouTube or on Facebook posted about people in the States, particularly in the States or Canada, in the Western world. It almost feels like the Western world is just spoiled rotten. They're like this single single kid being raised by their parents and spoiled rotten. You know, they're given everything, and I mean everything. Even the poorest people in the nations are given everything. They've got access to everything. The amount of privilege that the Western world has is just staggering. And you know, the whole talk of most recently of white privilege and blah blah blah. Disregarding that, I'm not talking about white privilege. This is not a racially driven rant. The Western world is privileged with everything. In the States, if you have enough cash, if you don't have any cash, you still have access to the things that a lot of people in the world don't have, you know. In Korea, for example, which is a Western world right now, not as it is, you know, in North America, but it is a westernized country, and we've got access to everything. I mean, man, how lucky are you to be able to sit your kadoosh in a car and drive for, you know, miles to get to another place and pitch a tent. Not that kind of tent. Set up a tent and have, go camping or whatever. You've got access to the internet. If you're thirsty, you step into a convenience store, you buy water in a goddamn bottle and you drink it. And you don't have to worry about getting it from a freaking dirty puddle somewhere or getting it out of a well somewhere, right? You got food on shelves, you got canned food, you got all kinds of stuff. You can go into a store and buy anything, whatever the heck you want from anywhere in the world by this time. Like, you know, beer in Korea, 15 years ago, there was only just one kind, and that was Korean, and it was piss warm for the most part, and it tasted as such too. It was one of the worst beers ever. But now you get into a store, you can buy beer from anywhere in the world. And the amount of privilege that people have in the Western world is just staggering. And I think North Americans don't realize it. It feels like, I look at pictures, some of the stuff that are happening in the USA, and it's shocking. Like, Victoria, I would really love to hear what you have to say about that. Like, what is your take on that, man? Because some of the news, and, you know, media does embellish stuff, right? Clearly. Because they live on the whole, what's the word? Phenomenization of things. Sensationalization, that's what I meant to say. Sensationalization of things. That's what media thrive on, right? But there must be some truth to it because people are up in arms. And you don't... Yeah, what do you think of like the riots? We, like, out here in Korea, I have no idea what's happening in the States. So the media here, you know, there's a lot of stuff on riots and looting and throwing the statues being thrown over and just people losing their shit over the whole corona thing, right? I'm talking about the corona. People losing their minds because they're being asked to, I don't know, to wear masks and people are not willing to do that, which is very bizarre. I've seen like videos of people just going into stores and losing their shit over somebody asking them to put on a mask so they, so they don't catch or don't give the coronavirus, whether it's, a legit thing or not. And I guess you could argue that, as many people do. Disregarding that, I don't understand what the big deal is. Masks are not, they're an inconvenience, but I wouldn't say that they're like life-threatening or identity robbing or whatever else people claim to label them as. So it just feels a bit over the top. And so what? So yeah, anyway, so Trump is, the riots aren't related to coronavirus. There are anti-maskers who are crazy. I feel like this would be better over a phone call. Okay. All right. Then better over the phone call. The no-maskers are just, it's so bizarre. Like, there's a claim, the masks don't protect us, this and that. So I think there's a misunderstanding of how masks function, and maybe I'm misunderstanding it, but I think for the longest part, like ever since I moved to Asia, I lived in Japan, in Tokyo for a year, and I saw people wearing masks. People have become awful in stores. I avoid stores. My friend in retail quit because she can't stand it anymore, for whatever reason it is. That's unclear, Victoria. People wear masks here not because they protect themselves from the outside world, but because they protect the outside world from themselves. And I remember reading somewhere recently, basically a mask may not necessarily help you protect yourself from corona right now or the flu. What it does is it protects the outside world from you spitting and sneezing all over the place. That's the protection that a mask serves. When people have a cold, when they have a flu, they slap on a mask. In terms of like wearing masks during bad pollution days, for the most part, we all know that the masks that we wear, which is the KF or whatever the heck the labeling is, 95, even the 95s, do jack squat for pollution. And so if they don't do anything for pollution, they will certainly not help help you catch the virus so much. They're not 100% proof. So the masks are there to keep your sneezes, if you happen to sneeze or breathe out, from going outside. That's the whole goal. And so if I'm wearing a mask, it reduces the risk of me spreading whatever the heck it is inside of me. And if you're wearing a mask, that reduces the risk of you spreading whatever is inside of you. And so the overall idea is to minimize the exhaust that we put out, I guess, right? The human exhaust. But for some reason, people in the West, and I've had that from my friends as well, say, and I've seen them post things like, your mask is okay, so why should I wear a mask? What are you concerned about? I'm concerned about the fact that I am protecting you by wearing a mask, and you don't seem to understand that, and you don't wear a mask because you're a dummy. And it's not like masks cost $1,000. You can buy a simple little mask. Like, the reason why there's surgical masks is because they pretty much came to an agreement that a regular mask is useless. So there are different kinds, right? This is the KF94, which is this mask here, and it's this fancy swanky one, brand new. I haven't used it yet. But this is one of the best ones, 94. The next one is 95, which is like, very good for dust and stuff. But even these don't protect you. Stuff will get through. You would have to have a mask that like isolates your entire face and no air gets in. So none of these paper masks will do that for you. So the only thing these masks actually do is prevent you from sneezing all over people and getting stuff out, right? And this mask, this is just like a, I don't know, protective mask. If you have a cold, you throw it on so you don't spit and sneeze and cough all over other people, spreading your germs. That's the idea. You protect other people from your stuff. And so maybe that is the reason why things in Korea have been contained so well, because people have these masks stacked in their houses on a regular basis, because we always wake up, you know, in the summer particularly, wake up to a day during which the air pollution can be so bad that you simply do not want to go out. And so having a mask is kind of an essential thing to have in a Korean household. Yeah. Look at that. I opened up a window, unfortunately, by accident, and it kind of popped out everywhere. It spilled out onto the screen. That's no good. Playing, transition, extending. Okay, very good. Yeah, so that's it for the masks. Let me just, here, Victoria posted a bunch of comments. The riots, okay. People have become awful in stores, Victoria. The riots are related to Black Lives Matter, and the systematic and violent racism in this country is becoming too much to bear. My friend in retail can't stand how people have been awful to employees and others. And the first fist fights over toilet paper. I'm pro masks. It doesn't hurt to wear them, and it can only benefit. So I wear my mask everywhere. Yeah, but there was like a, I don't know, it seems like a lot of people were stigmatizing those who wear masks for some strange reason, right? So I don't know what the case is. In Korea, everybody's wearing masks, like literally everyone on the street is wearing masks. Sometimes I get lazy and I don't wear a mask. My computer is goofy, there's a lot of moisture in this freaking school. Sometimes I don't wear a mask myself, but for the most part, most people do wear masks. And I try to wear one whenever I remember, most of the time. My wife always gives me hell, like, put a mask on, put a mask on. So I do. And, oopsies, and that's really that. Where's Mr. Trump? Mr. Trump has disappeared. Oh, man. See, another, God damn it. God damn. Chat window. Wow. See, my computer is having a hard time. Like I said, there's a lot of moisture here, and right now, Jesus. I don't know why my computer is having a hard time breathing recently. Maybe my computer needs a bloody mask. US President Donald Trump. Okay, I found this sucker. Okay, it's working now temporarily. Okay, maybe we can go to Mr. Trump here. Transition. What does it say? US President Donald Trump has suggested that South Korea coronavirus death toll cannot be trusted as he continues to defend his administration handling of the pandemic rather. It is a pandemic by now. Yeah. I'm going to keep this podcast short. It's late. RIP computer. No, not yet. Not yet. It cannot die. It cannot die. If it dies, everything else dies, and I've got too much stuff on my computer. But there's a lot of moisture in this Hagwon, unfortunately, which makes it go cuckoo. My screen has fogged over from the inside. I had to take it out. Leaving the building. That's how much rain there is. Literally, we were gone for like 3 days. We came back, and there was things just got covered in fungus-like textures, which is just bizarre. Anyway, so flooding in Korea, not very good. Trump talking crap, also not great. Things are not very good in the year 2020. Corona, floodage in Korea, Trump talking shit, shaking hands with dictators of the North. It's a very strange world we live in. at the moment, but that's okay. If you're here for the first time, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, come back for more nonsense, because remember, literally, there's never a dull moment on this podcast. Nothing ever works the way it should. Computers update themselves on their own and just mess everything up. Where is my stuff? Look at that. My goodness. Ah! It's insane. Victoria, if you knew what's happening, my computer, I think I gotta take it home and dry it off or something. I don't know. It is not good. Not good. I gotta close shop for tonight, I think, because I'm gonna lose my mind. Lose my mind, lose myself. I made a brand new purchase. I'm trying to transition from this. Sure, no dull moments, Sheila says. Another question. No, this is like my personal thing. I was involved in a what do you call it? Korea promotional program for Korea, and unfortunately I backed out of it because I felt that the program was kind of taking advantage of a lot of the young people who are trying to, you know, to reach stardom in a quick way. They spent a lot of time creating content for the program, and it felt very awfully awkward and very awfully what's the word? It felt like the people were being taken advantage of, and I personally don't like being taken advantage of, and so I left. I quit the program. I backed out. I no longer produce content for them. I don't know if I will in the future rather. Yeah, take it home and dry it off is what I would do too, I think. I did that yesterday. I just headed home and opened it up, and that's what I'll do as well. So I backed out of that. I feel better, to be honest. A lot less pressure to create what I want to create. There are videos coming up this week. There'll be some videos coming up on the Living Korea channel. You know what I'm eating? I'm eating, well, what are these? I don't know. Hanios or something like that. And they're they've been sitting outside, so they're not crunchy anymore. They're just chewy. Very weird. There's going to be videos coming up of our camping trip and our trip to Gangwon-do, which happened over the last couple of days. That's coming up sometimes on this Friday. Last Friday I wasn't able to post because I was not... They're sweet. These things, yeah, they're sweet, but they're just chewy. They're supposed to be crunchy, but they were sitting outside for a whole day, and now they're just chewy. So I didn't post the video on Friday because I wasn't home. We got home on Saturday, and everything is just bombarded. You know, we were away for a week from work, and you come back and everything just gets dropped on your desk and on your lap, and you've got to do 20,000 things all at once. So this podcast is as it is. It's short. I still have to do a lot of SEO stuff, and yeah, so we're gonna leave it at that, ladies. It seems like there's only two. Sheila, thanks for stopping by. Sheila, always a pleasure to have you here. And Victoria, very nice of you to stop by. I haven't seen you in a long time, so it's good to see you here again. Maybe it's probably the time difference, right? Because it's in the States, it's like, what is it, 6 or 7 a.m. in the morning? I don't know. I remember that it was very, very early, right? Anyway, all right. Keep your thumbs up for Korea, man. A lot of people are going through some hardships, man. Businesses are going under. First, there was Corona, COVID, 2 months closed, and people are losing their minds, losing their businesses, losing their hides, and now it's freaking flooding. People losing more of their, income and stuff. Yeah, thanks, Victoria. I'll be continuing it. It's intermittently. I'm very busy right now with other stuff, with business, with our work here, so it's not as consistent as it used to be. But that's life, man. Got to go with the flow. It's going to continue and see how far we'll get with this sucker. Hopefully, you know, hoping for the best. It's 10 now, and you got me on a sick day, called into work. Well, there you go. Enjoy your sick day. I hope it's nothing serious, though, Victoria. Stay safe, stay cool, and stay in bed, maybe, eh? Drink some medicine, eh? Honey and milk. Milk and honey, eh? Good for you, eh? All right. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm heading off. I got lots of work to do. I hope to do some of it tonight, so I'm not here until 2 a.m. If you remember, if you're new here, if you're watching this after the recording, make sure to hit the like button. All the best to Korea. Hopefully things get better. And no typhoons. Although I'm kind of hoping for a typhoon day where we get to be closed. But, you know, the flooding, bad hope. Next Monday, it's a holiday. So I'll be here and hopefully I'll have everything set up. Resting. Stay taking care of yourself. Why? What? Sorry, I'm not... Taking care of yourself, eh? Right. Night. That's right. Take care, Victoria. Sheila, have a good night. Make sure to come back. Well, Friday. There'll be another video Friday. Peace.